Okay, so today we are diving into a family story that you just have to hear to believe. Seriously. It's this wild tale of love, betrayal, and a funeral that, well, it turned into an all-out brawl. Get ready because this is the legend of Grandma Gertrude. And this whole story, it comes straight from the grandson. He lays it all out for us. His granddaddy, a man named Hubert James Calloway Sr., was, well, he was Grandma Gertrude's entire world. And you have to understand that. That deep, deep love is what makes the betrayal at the heart of all of this just so unbelievably shocking. So, where do we start? We start where a lot of family stories end, at a funeral. And look, this was supposed to be a quiet, somber, respectful day, right? A day to say goodbye to the family patriarch. But what the family got was something else entirely. Because it was at this funeral that Gertrude's entire world just shatters. She finds out that her beloved Hubert Sr., her man, was not just her man. Nope. To put it mildly, he was what you'd call a playa. We're talking a whole community of mistresses, and yeah, that even included the next-door neighbor.
So the first clue that something was off was the crowd itself. I mean, the church was packed, totally full, but not with family. The grandson says the pews were just overflowing with all these little old ladies that nobody recognized. Way, way more of them than actual relatives.
And the chaos, oh, it didn't just kind of build up slowly. No way. It arrived with some serious theatrical flair. One by one, Hubert's other women start making their presence known, and they turn this solemn service into a complete three-ring circus of grief and just pure absurdity. And what a cast of characters it was. Seriously, you had one woman literally screaming and trying to join him in the afterlife, right there at the casket. You had another one staging a full-on gothic wedding march down the aisle dressed as a bride, in black. Then there's this self-appointed scripture reader just shouting verses at the door. Oh, and a woman in all white who just decides she's the one giving the eulogy. And to top it all off, you've got this one grandma in the corner with a 40-ounce in a paper bag just cackling. And this line from the cackling granny, this was the moment the grandson realized what was happening. This wasn't just random chaos. This was expected chaos. Her comment makes it pretty clear that Hubert didn't just know this was going to happen. He practically planned it. He knew his entire fan club would show up for the final performance. So through all of this, can you just picture Grandma Gertrude? She's just sitting there in shock, watching all this foolishness unfold. But, everyone has a breaking point, and after watching her husband's funeral get completely hijacked by his many, many lovers, Gertrude, well, she finally snapped. She gets up, marches right to that podium, and just snatches the microphone away from the woman in white. And in this voice the grandson describes as slow and calm but very deeply and loud, she takes control. She basically announces that whatever circus these women thought they were attending, well, the show was over, right now. And she draws a very, very clear line in the sand. She told them all that she was his wife, and they were just whores. And they were not welcome. They needed to leave. I mean, this was her, right there, reclaiming the whole narrative of her husband's life, and now his death. But here's the thing. Words weren't going to cut it. When the 25 or so other women just keep wailing and causing a scene, Gertrude decides it's time for action. And this sparks one of the most unbelievable scenes of, let's call it, funeral justice ever. Okay. So first, she shoves the woman at the podium to the floor. Then, like some kind of old lady superhero, she just leaps into action. First target, the heavy-set lady at the casket. One karate kick sends this woman's head right onto the casket lid, knocking over the photo. And to make it even more surreal, her skirt flies up and, well, she wasn't wearing any underwear. You can't make this stuff up. All right, who's next? The bride in black. Gertrude doesn't even hesitate. She just bulldozes her, like a quarterback sack. The woman hits the floor with this huge thud, and her bouquet of black roses just explodes everywhere. I mean, can you just imagine the visual? Absolutely wild. And for the grand finale, she marches right to the entrance to deal with the Bible-thumping mistress. One punch, square in the throat, the woman drops her Bible, starts gagging, and is totally silenced. So that's 3 mistresses, 3 takedowns. Gertrude was absolutely not playing around. Okay, so at this point, the rest of the family finally snaps out of their shock. I mean, who wouldn't be?
The grandson's dad stands up and just yells for all non-blood relatives to get out. Now. And with help from family and the church staff, they escort about 30 of Hubert's other grandmas out of the building, finally getting a chance to salvage what was left of the funeral.
So you think that's it, right? The story ends there. A completely chaotic funeral, a widow's righteous fury. But nope, you would be wrong. The grand finale, really the most legendary part of this entire saga, happens the very next day. So after that whole ordeal, the family just rallies around Gertrude. They take her home, they take care of her with so much tenderness. Cooking, cleaning, playing her favorite gospel music. They even brushed her long gray hair and rubbed her feet with lotion. It's actually a really beautiful picture of love and support after just unimaginable stress. And then, the next day, there's a knock at the door. Who is it? It's Mabel, the next-door neighbor, and she seems completely oblivious, just asking if Hubert can pop over and cut her grass. Now, this is the very same chore he'd been using as a cover for their affair for years. The moment Gertrude hears Mabel's voice, this weird calm just comes over her. She doesn't say a word. She just walks over, picks up her late husband's cremation urn, and starts walking toward the door. The whole family just freezes. They have no idea what she's about to do, but they know one thing for sure. You do not get in Grandma Gertrude's way right now. And what happens next is it's a masterclass in revenge. Gertrude walks outside, she confronts Mabel, she leads her around to the backyard where Hubert's riding lawnmower is sitting, and she prepares for the final epic checkmate. This is the absolute genius of Gertrude. She takes the urn with Hubert's ashes, places it right on the lawnmower seat, looks Mabel dead in the eye, and delivers this perfect, ice-cold line. She doesn't spell it out, she just lets Mabel connect the dots herself. Oh yeah, Hubert was there to do the job, just, not exactly in the way she was expecting. So, as the penny finally drops, Mabel starts running away in a total panic, and she trips and falls flat on her face. And who shows up out of nowhere? The cackling granny from the funeral. And it turns out that's Mabel's sister. She comes over to help her up, but not without dropping this hilarious, completely unsympathetic comment. It's just the perfect, absurd ending to the whole showdown. And so, we're left with this question, right? What Gertrude did, it was extreme, it was chaotic, it was violent, no doubt about it. But when you're facing that level of profound disrespect, a lifetime of lies just crashing down on you, was it madness? Or was it the moment a legend was born? I think I'll let you decide on that one.